Okay, so we're going to go fast because I am a data person and there is always more that we can talk about. These slides are relatively heavy on data for a reason, because I know that with that data, with those clean ones and zeros, I can program it, I can automate it. And what we've essentially created here is like a very sexy Craigslist using matchmaking with AI for the blockchain industry. So we vet them really, really strictly. Like North America and US regulations has rules to it. And essentially, I look at them like, would I introduce my family to them? Would my dumb cousins get it? Would my smart engineer cousins get it? All of which they don't understand what I've been doing for the last 5 years. So we wanted to really make it easy for everybody and have just a trusted place. I jokingly say this is like the swimming pool and we give you little kitty arms rather than throwing you out in the ocean with the sharks. So you can think of us essentially as a vetting process, a database of the results of that vetting process, and then we use that to match make things in real time because the industry is exploding. So we're going to keep going pretty fast here. Essentially, there was no marketplace that would cover everything from, yes, the on-chain brands that you see at the exchanges and the exchange brands themselves and the marketplaces and where you can find these things, but also the off-chain solutions. What are the good marketing companies? What are the companies who know how to do this, who I've known for 5 years here in the industry? Who are the people who were here even before me? Who are the oracles that I listen to that can change my mind? We wanted to make all of that accessible and I wanted to sleep. So we figured we'd automate all of it and get me out of the middle. So there's just a ton of opportunities. It's really whatever you need for your blockchain brand. Those needs can change, right? And they change all the time. So we just made it available. Essentially, it's $250 to come in and be poked with a sharp stick by Christina Brujan. I have to speak to every single one of them. So I can quite literally go shill you guys and place you guys where you need to be with people that I trust in my network. And we can handle multiple avenues. So your CMOs are usually doing like 800 things and they're trying to put it in, they're trying to activate all of these funnels. This is one place that you can go for your HR, your cap raise, I need to find a quick solution here. Christina, what would you do? And we're automating that. So the more you play with it and interact with it, the more we learn and create a better experience for you guys. And we start to really, oh, good. All my news articles are coming up here. I keep a Discord of all this stuff. I'm a data science training person for all of this. So I've got way more than just this little marketplace. But this covers essentially kind of like the user request. We put it through our magic, and then that comes out as like, okay, this is how we go get this to the people who need it. And it could be events, it could be a million things. It depends on what the brand is doing, and it depends on what the user is looking for. So this is essentially saying, like, where I joke that I'm 50% mean mom. And once you get through that part, then I'm 50% fairy godmother, and I will bibbity bobbity boo your blockers away. But the mean mom part comes from this data landscape and how territorially protective I am of the industry, all the way up to Wall Street changing market sectors, all the way up to Capitol Hill regulations. And we have a lobbying arm, and I've got a lot going on. So if you guys need anything and you're good actors in the blockchain industry, I want to talk to you so you guys can go fishing in my kiddie pool that I brought together here for you guys. So we're going to this is just a little bit more. It's basically a dual-sided marketplace. We've covered a little bit of that. It's like, anything? Yep, anything. Just let me know. This is our raise information, which is teeny, 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 tiny. It's just what's on the deck here and what I can promise to do. And this is a template that anyone who's raising, this is what people like Mariana want to see. We're doing due diligence for these brands and putting it on a clean brand page with KPIs and metrics that come directly from the brands that matter to the industry and that have standardized things like this. Like, what did you do month over month? What is the growth? Did they do what they said they were going to do? Did they actually do the release in October? Have they been raising for 4 years and don't have a product to show for it yet? I see you guys out there too. Okay. So I'm keeping an eye on all of it. We have a monster team. This is tip of the iceberg of what my network represents. We represent Main Street and like common everyday users and protecting those users. We represent Blockchain Street, which is all the technologists and people that I can speak with at a CTO level and know that they are really changing the status quo. We have a giant network within Wall Street because they all want to understand it as well. And we have a giant network in Capitol Hill because they also want to understand it as well. So we're here to really like lower the barrier to entry and create a baseline and create like a safe place where you can find trusted brands. Just as a quick side note, this man here, Dr. Richard Swart, is an amazing, legendary fintech brain. This man here, Lael Alexander, is, in my opinion, the Elon Musk that we actually need in our life. And I can't wait to share a little bit about what all these people are doing and how it impacts Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. And we have a really, really monster network. And the reason we have that monster network, and that you can go back and listen to my video from a year ago, is because we started all this with data science. And we started this with trying to predict the price of Bitcoin. TLDR, you can't. It's a new regime every 2 months. We're in uncharted territory. The politics are different. Geolocational politics are different. The world is evolving real quick. And so we need real-time like touch points with the trusted brands so that we can show this market sector growth that we call the blockchain industry. Let's see here. This is my real background, is comparing the entire blockchain industry to the entire traditional markets background. But nobody really understands this stuff. I just want you guys to know that this is why the industry trusts me. This is why they're like, yeah, you're the data person that can handle this. Yeah, okay, let's go ahead and just put together a sexy Craigslist then. So we'll get into that. If any of this is interesting to you, there's a ton of data and quantifiable data points behind all of this and why it's important. This is a really good visualization. This is basically what the new global economic engine is about to look like. So we're used to traditional markets, but within that, the agriculture commodities, especially the precious metals and the energy commodities, are really shifting things. And I said, well, what about the digital assets things that are really shifting things? And so over the next 10 years, we're going to be watching this all kind of in this like washing machine biodome of native species versus invasive species. And if any of you guys pay attention in science, we know that the invasive species usually win because they don't have any natural predators and it disrupts the biodome. So we've got data points for all that. These are all the categories that I evaluate you guys. So each brand is a unique snowflake. Each user is a unique snowflake, but I'm looking for what are you really doing? What can I measure in data? What can we put on your brand page and show KPIs and show month over month and show that you guys are amazing and that your communities are growing like 200% a month. And I wanted to like put a camera on that. And so anyway, lots of information, but we're just mixing data points together and making it really easy for everyone to understand. And I have a monster rock star team that we now have a presence in Miami as well as LA for events that are constantly happening there. And then I fly all over the place. We call it the conference circuit in the industry. Mariana's there at most of them. And you have to divide and conquer. You can't be everywhere, right? So you can't be in New York and Miami at the same time, but it's all happening at the same time. So I have like the data science brain essentially to say, let's take the time space continuum and only so many things can happen in 24 hours. And then you layer on event triggers of what these brands are doing. And that's kind of how you get predictive indicators. But it's basically just a marketplace for you guys so I can help the blockchain industry move faster. At Continuum Market, we are blockchain industry forward. You can reach me, Christina, at Continuum Market, Christina with a K.